Hola, bienvenidos, welcome back to my channel. I'm feeling like my true Latina self in these braids and I'm having a moment here, okay? But we're not here to talk about my hair today. That'll be another future video. Today I am here to bring back the Pro Makeup Tips series. I haven't done one in a while, but I was thinking about you guys the other day and the questions that you ask often because TULA, who I'm partnering with in today's video, they sent me their new Protect Glow Daily Sunscreen Gel with SPF 30. SPF is something that should always be a part of your daily routine, makeup or not, indoors or outside. And I often get asked by you guys, when do you apply SPF? Is it before your primer, after your primer? Like, do you need it underneath makeup if your foundation has SPF? So for today's Pro Makeup Tips, I wanted to focus on showing you guys, or really highlighting what you should do first, second, third in your makeup application. But the one thing that always remains the same is that SPF is the last step in your skincare routine and the first step in your makeup routine. So what's great about this product and why I wanted to partner with TULA for today's video is because, first of all, it's not only reef safe and vegan, it has that skincare aspect to it. So you're able to prep your skin with an SPF and then still opt for a primer if you'd like. But for me, you guys, if you watch my tutorials regularly, you know I don't heavily rely on primers to prep my skin. I rely on my skincare, and this is gonna give me UVA, UVB protection, blue light protection, as well as help me prep my skin for makeup, and then everything else is gonna flow very nicely on top of well-prepped skin. So also, they gave me 15% off for you guys if you wanna check it out. Check the description box. But what I wanna let you guys know is that today's video is a focus on doing skin first. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, so if you watch this video and you feel like you're still a little lost and you would like to see another Pro Makeup Tips, how to layer your makeup with eyes and brows first, let me know. I have plenty of time right now while staying at home to film that for you guys. So watch this video. If you feel incomplete at the end, let me know in the comment section and I will get that done. But for now, let's get into this how to layer your makeup, starting with foundation first. For today, the focus is makeup, so I'm gonna start with the final step in my skincare routine. It's daytime. I'm gonna apply my SPF. I'm gonna use that TULA Protect Glow Daily Sunscreen Gel with SPF 30 that I mentioned in the intro. And you'll see the texture of it is so beautiful that I really don't need a primer after this. It gives my skin that glow that I want, keeps it hydrated with probiotics, and it also has papaya and pineapple enzymes, which help to even out the skin tone. So it's a little bit of skincare, some protection, but it doesn't feel like a typical SPF, which is why it's great to prep the skin with as your first step before you go in with everything else. And always, always apply it to your neck and chest. And I also like to go back here as well, because I feel like whenever I go out to walk the dogs, the sun's always hitting the back of my neck also. So make sure you get all areas that are exposed. And also, I could use a little glow. It makes the makeup look complete if your décolleté and your shoulders are also glowing with your face. And we're done here, just kidding. Okay, first step after that is foundation, concealer, whatever your coverage is going to be for that day. For today, I am doing that really vibrant orange eyeshadow. So I want the skin to be super clean, super fresh, perfect for a daytime look. So my foundation today is going to be the Makeup Forever Reboot foundation, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply that with a little kabuki brush. I think Y365 is too dark, but we'll see. It is a little dark, but I always like my foundation to be a little darker so that I can sort of highlight and contour with my concealer. See how nice and glowy the skin looks? I just love the way foundation feels or blends when you use the proper skin prep, because I've been there before where I use a primer that's really thick and heavy and it almost makes my foundation look cakier. It makes it kind of build up more because foundation really likes to adhere to primers. So I really love the finish that this light foundation and the dewiness that the SPF is giving me. Take this down my neck because I'm not this tan. quarantine has me looking a little pasty these days, but I'm okay with it. I tend to switch up whether I do eyes first, face first, depending on what I'm applying to my eyes. Today's look is pretty simple, so I did my foundation first, but my little trick for natural looking eyeshadow that blends into the rest of your foundation is to use a long wearing foundation as your eyeshadow prep as well. So right now would be a good time to apply that so that it blends into the rest of your foundation. I'm obviously grabbing a separate one because the Makeup Forever one is a little more on like the dewy side, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour wear foundation. So it has staying power, it's matte, and it's great for eyeshadow prep. Plus it's a super inexpensive eyeshadow primer that will last you forever. And it's amazing as an actual foundation. I just, for today, wanted a more dewy, fresh look to go with the eyeshadow. So I'm gonna go ahead and press this onto my eyelids with my OFRA sponge. I'm doing this now because once you add powder to your face, it gets really difficult to blend in a wet foundation on the eyelids, especially out towards this area and the inner corner. And I'm using the shade 460. Concealer is next. I'm using this new one from DIOR. It's the Forever Skin Correct Concealer, shade 2WO. Love the foundation from this same collection, so I gave this a try the other day, loved it, so I'm using it today. Even if you like a cream contour, I still do my highlight first and then blend in my cream bronzer, which maybe I'll do that on camera for you guys actually, instead of using a powder bronzer. But concealer first, I just like the way that cream contour blends in afterwards. I end up using less versus when I do it first and I get carried away and then have to go in with more concealer. See how it naturally looks like I did a bit of a contour because the foundation's a little bit darker. A little tip for you guys if you're not into doing the whole cream contour. I know I'm not, but like I said, I'm gonna do it in this video just to show those who are interested or do like a cream contour how they would then layer a powder bronzer, setting powder, etc. over the cream contour. Okay, so to show you guys a cream contour, I'm gonna go in with this Vanity Makeup Sculpt and Glow palette. It's the medium trio. If I would have thought of this before, I would have used all three, but for now we're gonna use the contour and the cream highlight as well. So again, if you are confused about cream highlights, I know those can get everything, like all the makeup rules really twisted. I'm gonna cover that also. But for now, I'm gonna go in with the contour color. I'm gonna warm it up with my finger. I love warming up cream products with my finger. I just feel like they go on way more natural. You can also really feel the hollows of your cheeks this way too. I'm just gonna go ahead and pat it in. This product is super creamy too. And I feel like for the look that I'm going for, I want the skin to just be so glowy. Like I just got out of the shower. So less powder is better. So I really like that. I have this little cream contour kit to use. And then I'm gonna use that same brush I was using to apply my foundation to blend this out. I'm like patting and blending upwards into the concealer. Look at how nice that blended out. Wow. This is my first time using that little cream contour kit. It looks so nice. And then see how I went a little low here? So good opportunity to use the actual highlighting cream in here as well. And just use that to clean up underneath. Now is when I would set all the areas that crease. So I have my Laura Mercier powder here and a little synthetic brush. And I like to set the areas underneath the eye first, just because I have this new technique that I feel like just works really great in it looking like I have not a lot of powder underneath my eyes, but really locking it all in. So I picked up the powder, I blended out the creasing, and then I'm just going to press it in. And then I'll also get just the brow bone and inner part right here. So that way when I add the eyeshadow, it's a lot easier to blend. But I'll leave the lid wet and creasy like that, and I'll just blend out the creasing before I go in with the eyeshadow because I want the eyeshadow to stick to that tacky surface of the foundation on the eyelid. Once I have locked in all the areas that crease a ton, I'm gonna take a little powder poof. This one is from LH Cosmetics, and I'm going to use that to press the powder in everywhere. I would add cream highlight here, but because I haven't done my eyeshadow, the eyeshadow will, if you have fallout, it will stick to that cream highlight and create a huge mess for you. So I'm actually gonna powder down the entire face. If my eyes were already done, I wouldn't powder that area down. I would let it stay nice and moist and creamy so that the cream highlight really can shine, but it's too late for that. Hate to break it to you guys. But what's really important about doing your face first and setting with powder is that you want to set with powder, because if not, everything's gonna stick to your foundation. So that's why I like to powder everything down really well. You see some people leave like little piles of powder underneath their eyes as well to catch the fallout. I feel like I don't get that much fallout. I've gotten better about when I do my face to be a little more delicate with the eyeshadow so it's not all over the place by the end. But that's always an option for you guys as well. And I think next we can just go into the eyes. I already powdered all around the eye, but the lid is still tacky. So before you add your eyeshadow, just blend out any creasing and then immediately go in with the shadows. So kind of like a similar concept to the under eyes, but it's almost like the eyeshadow is gonna set the foundation in place. So I'm gonna dip into this orange You Glad palette from ColourPop, and I'm really only gonna use this color right here, Sunkissed, because it's just like the perfect shade of orange. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that all over my lid, starting with the area closest to the lashes and then blending it up towards the crease. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this darker shade on the inner and outer corners, just to add a little bit of contrast. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit to the outer lower lash line, just so that it all connects. Ooh, this eyeshadow, it's like the shade of orange I needed in my life. But if I'm doing face first, this is where I would end and go back to the face, because I want to mist myself before I add anything like brow and like brow gels, because I've been really into tinted brow gels, and mascara, because it will transfer onto my skin. So let's go back now to the face. Because I did a cream contour, it allows me to use a shimmery bronzer versus going in with another matte bronzer. And I've really been into shimmery bronzers lately. They just, I feel like, add glow that looks more natural versus dousing my face in a cream highlight. I love a cream highlight, but lately I've just been liking it to look a little more natural. And I've been loving this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. So with the large side of this brush, I'm just going to lightly sweep this onto the forehead and also the actual cheeks, because the hollows have already been contoured. Still going in an upwards motion. So you want to make sure when you're layering on other powder products, powder bronzer, powder blush, powder highlight, you've powdered your whole face down, so that way the other powders will blend really nicely over a powdered face. If you haven't powdered yet, or like if I had a cream highlight on and I didn't powder it down, things could get stuck there and then you get that blotchy finish. So do all of your powder products together is the moral of the story. I'm gonna go in a little crazy with this Milani number 5 Luminoso Baked Powder Blush. It's just like a really nice peachy color to go with that eyeshadow. I'm gonna use the smaller side of my Hourglass brush. And I'm bringing it up kind of high because the eyeshadow is blended out in this direction. So I kind of want the peachiness of this blush to blend in with the eyeshadow. Sometimes I will do bronzer and blush first before even doing the eyes. But the main rule is to just resist the urge to mist your face. For my final powder step, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to use this Glazed Lit Kit by L'OREAL Los Angeles. And I'm going to go in with Glow Gal right here to highlight the high points of the face. And then we can mist. Which you also want to hold off on misting, because when you mist a highlight, a powder highlight, it literally comes to life. It melts into the skin. It just looks amazing. So I'm going to use that as an inner corner highlight. I'm going to do one more blend with the Hourglass brush. Even though it has a little bit of shimmer bronzer on it, it's okay. Just kind of blend it all together. And then for my favorite step in my makeup routine, Fix Plus or any face mist, if you're going to use a setting spray, use it after a kind of like refreshing mist. Another one that I would consider more of like a refresher versus a setting spray is like the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. So I like to use that first versus the setting spray because I can go in kind of heavy with it, really let it just like melt in my makeup in a good way. And then the setting spray is gonna lock it all in, so you don't need as much. For that, I do just a couple of sprays. Try not to hit the eyes as hard as you do the rest of the face. And I always like to have my fan ready, this one's from Protect Glow, to just dry down quicker, because if you go in a little heavy, it can also ruin your makeup. And now look at that highlight. It looks with this eyeshadow. I'm excited. Can you tell? So once that has completely dried down, I can go in with an actual setting spray. I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter. And again, a lot less of this one. Back to the eyes. And now you can really see it up close. Look at how good the skin looks, right? Before, when I showed you up close, pat her down, it looked a little heavy, but after the mist, it looks like I'm not wearing any makeup. Just kidding. For the brows, I'm using Gimme Brow, shade number 4. I've been really into just using a brow gel to make them look thicker, but not necessarily filling them in. It Cosmetics Superhero on my upper lashes and Voluminous Brown Black on my lower lashes. For the lip, all I'm going to be doing is adding a liner and gloss, because whenever I have a look on like this where like the eyeshadow stands out, I like the lips to just look super juicy and natural. I'm using Anywhere Caffeine from Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Color Pencil. And then I'm using the Artist Couture Gloss in the shade Foreplay. And if you have a lip balm on or any sort of like lip mask, make sure you remove it before you add your lip liner. If not, you're not going to get the color from your lip liner. That is it for this tutorial. I hope I clearly laid out steps A through Z for you guys with this simple yet statement makeup look. I'm just loving orange eyeshadow right now. It's been calling my name, so I'm glad that I was finally able to throw it into a YouTube video for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Make sure to share this video with anyone who you think may be new to makeup and is confused. Share it with them. I know I'm probably gonna share it with my sister once this video is done and uploaded, because I recently gifted her a ton of makeup and she went in, okay? She's like, oh my God, new woman, who's this? And I loved it, and I know she still has some questions, so I'll probably end up sending it to her. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. We are not here about the break. El video de hoy va a ser en español. Not. I just realized I did this entire video with oatmeal in my teeth. Wow.